Hello all, Jen here to do the weekly energy forecast for May 7th through 13th, 2023. Last week's energy, it was a little bit rough because it was calling our attention to the masks that we wear, the things that we do or use to hide our true selves. And it was kind of related to the idea of, being afraid to show whatever is authentic for you. Because you're afraid that you won't be accepted by your community, and living in that sort of place of fear of wanting to share, but also being too afraid to do it, and so covering up with the mask. So a lot of it was about the idea of what are the masks that you're using? Are you ready to release those? And what's behind it that you're so afraid of, maybe why you're so afraid of it. So kind of a heavier energy. There was also a full moon eclipse in Scorpio, which is a heavier kind of an energy, like a Scorpio digs deep into the shadows and things like that, and so it was a heavier energy. So I found that if I leaned into the fact that that eclipse was coming, and eclipses are, they're a really large sort of energy, and oftentimes there are things can really come in and shift and change. And so I found that if I lean into things like that, I can work with those energies that are coming in as opposed to sort of being blindsided by them. And so that's a thought, if you're interested in becoming a little bit more in tune with these things, to help yourself, that's a great thing to do, is to pay attention to some of what's going on with the astrology. You don't have to understand all the intricacies and the sort of mathematical calculations and all that seems to go into it to find it useful. Anyway, so that energy was a little bit denser and had maybe a lot of stuff for people to work with. This week's energy, May 7th through 13th, is bringing in some lightness, probably well needed by a lot of people right now, but a grounded kind of a lightness energy. People often, they always ask me, what is shamanic Reiki? What does that shamanic piece mean? And to me, it means that you take a combination of sort of that high vibration universal energy through Reiki, and you combine it with nature-based sorts of practices that bring in sort of a grounding influence. And I feel like that's sort of the key for all of us being able to navigate our, physical lives on this planet, is figuring out how to walk in balance with those two things, where you can stay light but also stay earthbound and take the opportunity that you have to be here right now and do something with it. And so that to me is sort of summing up what the energy is looking like for this week. I pulled the shifting energy card for burden to lightness, so that's a obvious one. And this is really about just saying, taking stock of the things that you're carrying and asking yourself, do I need to carry all of these things? Are there some things that are not mine, that don't really apply to me anymore? And, what can I drop away and bring some lightness to myself? And aided by crown chakra, which is that that universal energy coming in and allowing in those sorts of higher vibration energies. So that's around to support that process of, because what you don't want to do is drop something and then leave a hole there. So kind of the idea of, if I release something, I want to fill that space up with something that feels appropriate. So, and I don't mean fill it up with more busy work or anything like that. I mean, fill it up with a sense of lightness, fill it up with that light energy that can boost everything for you, I guess. And if that doesn't make sense to you, come talk to me, because I can tell you all about it, and we can jabber on and you can try things out. So that energy's coming in strong with the lightness piece and sort of connecting into those lighter energies. And then I pulled this card, fairies, earth magic, right? So I looked at this. I don't think I've ever pulled this card out of this deck because I'm not really a fairy worker. I don't work with fairies. Although I know that they're, a lot of people do, and they're considered a nature being just like anything else. So the earth magic part of this is interesting because fairies are considered to be a very nature-based sort of being, and that the more you connect in with nature, the more likely you are to be able to work with them. But when I look at this image, for one, the color is very in line with the chakra that we're talking about here this week. But also, she's sort of this ethereal looking, she looks wispy, she doesn't look solid. So to me, that again highlights the idea of an earth-based being that is filled with lightness and is solid yet not. that kind of a thing. And so that's really the kind of balance that we're sort of looking for. Particularly this week, it seems like this is useful. So if you are interested in fairies, I guess this is a good week to explore them. But if not, that's okay. But exploring the idea of how can I be of the earth, but not so dense that I become weighted down with, unnecessarily, I guess I would say. There is a balance there that can be struck between the two of, having some weight to be physically present, but also having that sort of light feeling about it. So that can be challenging, right? Striking that balance. And then I pulled the Liberate card. It kind of threw me for a loop for a second because it's completely different. Color-wise, it's different. Harnessing my passion. I thought, whoa, okay, where is this coming from? This really, it's a high vibration energy too, right? Passion, excitement, that kind of thing. And I realized this is one of the ways that you can figure out how to strike a balance, because when we're passionate about something and we're really excited about something, projects, hobbies, anything that we're really excited about gets our blood moving, that creates a high vibration energy, right? That's an easy way to create a high vibration energy, is to kind of go, oh, I'm excited about this. I want to do this. I want to share it. Automatically lightens our energy load. But when you harness your passion, which is the point of this energy, it's not just about passion, it's about harnessing it. When you harness it, that means you take all that excitement and that high vibration sort of passion energy that's coming in, and you harness it and you turn it into something, so something more solid. So that brings in that sort of grounded, earth-based energy. So it really is a perfect example of how you can try to balance out high vibration with a groundedness. It's find something you're excited about, let yourself feel that excitement and feel that lightness, and then figure out how you can harness that and give it some form so that it's grounded into your earthly life. I think that it's so beautiful. I love that. I love it. So I think this week could be really fun to play with if you're excited about something especially and already know what it is that you want to work with. But I think it'll be a nice practice week and feel a little bit lighter after some of that eclipse stuff that was going on, to practice harnessing your passion and figuring out how to strike that balance between lightness and groundedness. All right, that's the energy forecast for May 7th through 13th, 2023. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll wish you a good journey. Bye.